Have you ever caught yourself staring quietly in the mirror, wondering if things have changed in ways you didn't expect? Maybe it's not just the silver in your hair or the gentle lines on your face, but something more personal, something that touches your confidence and your sense of vitality. It's a question many men don't talk about, but it's there. Can we still feel as strong, as vibrant as we did years ago, especially when it comes to intimacy? I remember one afternoon sitting with a good friend over coffee, and he leaned in, voice low, almost embarrassed. "Jack, I've been noticing things aren't quite the same downstairs. I mean, it's not just age, is it? Is there anything we can do about it?" That moment stuck with me. Because the truth is, feeling good about ourselves in every way matters deeply, no matter our age. Now, I'm not here to make promises that sound too good to be true or to sell you some miracle cure. What I want to share are gentle, natural ways that have helped men like us regain some of that confidence and improve penile length in a safe, realistic way. Because it's possible, and it's worth the effort. You see, as we get older, our bodies change. Circulation slows, muscle tone decreases, and sometimes the tissues we rely on don't work as they used to. But that doesn't mean we have to just accept it quietly. Small habits, simple choices, and a little bit of patience can make a real difference. Let me tell you about a couple that standout habits that many men overlook but are game changers once they understand them. The first is all about movement, and no, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It's more subtle than that. Picture this. Tom, a retired teacher, began to notice his confidence dipping. He felt less energetic, less him in the bedroom. One day, his grandson challenged him to take a walk around the block every morning. Just that. No rush, no pressure. Over weeks, Tom found himself standing taller, breathing deeper, and yes, noticing subtle improvements where it mattered most. What happened? Simple. Better blood flow. You see, the penis is made up of spongy tissue that fills with blood to create an erection. When blood circulation improves, so does the ability to achieve and maintain firmness, and yes, over time, gentle. Consistent circulation can even encourage some natural lengthening as tissues become more elastic and healthy. So, a daily walk or gentle stretches aren't just good for your heart or joints. They're a secret weapon for your confidence. Now, some might say, "I'm too old for all that." But the truth is, even small, gentle movement matters. I once read about a group of men in their 70s who took up yoga, and not only did they find relief from aches and pains, but many reported feeling more flexible, and that translated to better intimate moments too. You don't have to be a contortionist. Even stretching in bed before getting up or during television commercials can help improve blood flow. The second habit I want to share isn't as obvious, but it's equally powerful: the food we choose to eat. Remember those meals where you feel sluggish afterward? Heavy fried or overly processed foods can weigh down your circulation and energy levels. On the other hand, fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and foods rich in antioxidants and vitamins like C, E, and zinc do wonders to keep your blood vessels healthy. Take my Uncle George, for example. He used to eat whatever was convenient, lots of fried foods, white bread, and sugary treats. After a minor health scare, he switched to a Mediterranean-style diet with lots of olive oil, leafy greens, fish, and colorful veggies. Within months, he felt more energetic and noticed changes that surprised him. He told me with a wink, "I feel younger, and things are working better where it counts." It's not magic. It's the body responding to better care. One of the best parts? These foods don't just help penile health, but boost overall well-being, heart, brain, even mood. And that positivity feeds back into your intimate life. Now, if you're wondering how exactly diet and circulation connect to penile length, here's a simple way to think about it. Penile tissue can lose some elasticity with age, partly because of poor blood flow and partly due to micro damage that occurs over time. Nutrients from healthy food help repair and nourish this tissue, encouraging a natural, slow improvement in size and function. Of course, it's not about quick fixes, but steady, small improvements that add up. Before we move forward, there's something important to touch on: stress. It's something many of us know too well, right? Between health worries, family responsibilities, or just the quiet loneliness that can sneak in, stress takes a toll on the body, especially when it comes to intimacy. My good friend Jack once told me how after retiring, he felt a sense of loss that made him retreat. His blood pressure went up, and he found himself less interested in intimate moments. It wasn't until he started practicing simple breathing exercises and reconnecting with close friends that he noticed a change. Stress relief isn't just about feeling calm. It can literally help restore the body's natural functions. Stress hormones can tighten blood vessels, reduce circulation, and make tissues less responsive. So finding your own little ways to unwind, be it gardening, listening to music, or even gentle meditation, can pave the way for better penile health. Now, I won't pretend these habits work overnight, but the important thing is to start no matter your age. Gentle movement, eating well, and managing stress are foundations that set the stage for the next steps we'll explore together. Because improving penile length is more about caring for your whole self than chasing miracles. In the next part, I'll share some surprising daily routines and simple exercises that can make a real difference. No gimmicks, just straightforward advice you can trust. Remember, this journey is about reclaiming a part of yourself that matters, bringing back the confidence to look in the mirror and smile. So, take a deep breath with me, and let's keep moving forward. You know, sometimes it's the little changes we don't expect that end up making the biggest difference. Like when my neighbor, Mr. Lewis, started mentioning how a simple daily routine helped him feel like he'd turned back the clock just a bit. He wasn't trying anything wild, just small, manageable habits that fit into his life. And yet, the impact surprised him. One of those habits is something you might have heard whispered about, but never really looked into pelvic floor exercises. Yes, the same ones often recommended for women, but trust me, they're just as important for men, especially as we get older. I remember hearing about these exercises years ago and thinking, that's not for me. But after seeing a few friends give them a try, I can tell you, they work wonders. Here's the thing, pelvic floor muscles support the bladder and bowel, but they also play a huge role in erectile function. When these muscles are strong and toned, they help maintain firmer erections and can even contribute to a fuller, longer appearance. Mr. Lewis told me he started doing simple squeezes, just tightening those muscles for a few seconds and releasing a few times a day. It took discipline, sure, but after a month or two, he noticed better control and stamina. What's great about this habit is that you can do it anywhere, sitting in your favorite chair, watching television, or even while reading a book. No special equipment needed, no gym membership. It's the kind of low-key but highly effective habit that fits perfectly into everyday life. Another habit that often gets overlooked is staying well hydrated. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But water is essential for keeping your blood flowing smoothly. Dehydration thickens the blood, making circulation sluggish. And since the penis relies on healthy blood flow to function and grow, drinking enough water can help keep things in shape, so to speak. I recall my cousin Mike, who swore he never needed to drink more than his morning coffee and a soda or two during the day. But after some health issues, he made it a point to carry a water bottle everywhere. He told me, I felt a difference in my energy, and even noticed that those intimate moments were a bit more reliable. It's one of those habits that doesn't require special effort, just a reminder and a water bottle at your side. Now, here's something you might not have thought about. The clothes you wear. It might seem trivial, but tight, restrictive underwear or pants can actually reduce blood flow to the pelvic area. If you're feeling a little less full than you used to, it might be worth checking what you wear under those trousers. Take Jim, another friend of mine, who switched from tight briefs to looser boxer-style underwear. He laughed, telling me, I didn't think it would make a difference, but after a few weeks, I felt more comfortable and noticed some improvement. Wearing breathable, non-restrictive clothing helps blood flow and prevents overheating, which is better for tissue health down there. You may wonder how all this ties into length. It comes back to circulation and tissue health again. When blood can freely flow without restriction, the tissues remain supple and elastic, making it easier to achieve a longer and firmer state naturally. It's all connected: what you wear, how you move, and even how you breathe. Speaking of breathing, yes, breathing, it's another surprisingly powerful habit. When stressed or anxious, our breathing becomes shallow, and that limits oxygen reaching the tissues. Good oxygenation supports healthy blood vessels and tissue repair. One of my older cousins learned a simple breathing technique from a yoga class. Deep belly breathing, slow and steady, for just 5 minutes a day. He told me it helped him relax, and surprisingly, he felt more present and energized during intimate moments. It's like giving your body the oxygen boost it craves, which in turn supports circulation and tissue health. And while we're on the subject of relaxation, let's talk about sleep. Many men in their 60s, 70s, or even 80s notice that quality sleep becomes a rare treasure. But did you know that poor sleep can interfere with hormone production? Testosterone, the hormone tied to male vitality and penile health, is mostly produced during deep sleep. My friend Robert struggled with sleep for years, waking up multiple times at night and feeling drained. After making some simple changes like cutting down caffeine after noon and creating a bedtime routine, he finally started sleeping deeper. He said, "It's like my body had a reset button." Better sleep helped him feel more energetic and, yes, contributed to noticeable improvements in intimate health. Lastly, I want to mention something that's often taboo but important: communication. If you have a partner, talking openly about your feelings, your concerns, and what you're comfortable trying can be incredibly healing. It's amazing how emotional closeness and reduced anxiety can help your body respond better. Sometimes, just feeling understood and supported can relieve tension that otherwise restricts blood flow. I remember a couple in my book club who shared that after years of struggling silently, they started having honest conversations about intimacy and health. That openness made their connection stronger and encouraged both of them to explore these habits together. When you're relaxed and emotionally connected, your body follows suit. So, these middle habits, pelvic floor exercises, staying hydrated, choosing comfortable clothes, deep breathing, improving sleep, and honest communication, they all work together like pieces of a puzzle. None alone is a magic bullet, but combined, they create the perfect environment for natural improvement. As you think about these habits, maybe one or two stand out as easier to start with. That's the key, starting where you are and taking it slow. I promise, even small steps can bring surprising results. Next time, we'll talk about the last few ways to support penile length naturally, including some lifestyle tips that might surprise you. And I'll share some final words of encouragement to remind you why this matters, because feeling good about yourself, at any age, is a gift worth nurturing. Until then, take a moment to reflect on what you've heard so far. Which habit feels doable? What might you try tomorrow morning? And remember, you're not alone on this journey. By now, you've heard about some gentle, natural ways to support penile health and length habits that are simple, doable, and fit into your daily life. But before we finish, let me share a few more things that often get overlooked but can truly make a difference. One of those is managing your weight. Carrying extra pounds, especially around the belly, can physically affect how much of your penis is visible. It's not just about numbers on a scale. It's about feeling lighter and healthier in your body. When you lose weight, the fat pad around the pubic area shrinks, revealing more of what's naturally there. It's like uncovering a hidden part of yourself that's been covered up. Take my neighbor Sam. After retiring, he put on some extra weight, and he'd joke, "I lost a few inches somewhere." But after focusing on healthy meals and gentle walks, he shed some pounds and was pleasantly surprised by the change in his appearance, and his confidence soared. That's the beauty of caring for your body as a whole. Another factor that plays a surprisingly big role is quitting smoking if you're a smoker. I know it's easier said than done, and it's a habit that's tough to break. But smoking narrows blood vessels and reduces circulation, which, as we've talked about, is key to penile health. When blood flow is restricted, achieving firmness and length becomes harder. I remember a story about a man named Bill who quit smoking at 68. Within months, he noticed improvements in his stamina and overall energy. Not overnight, but steadily. The body has a remarkable ability to heal when given the chance. Next, let's touch on the importance of regular checkups. Sometimes, underlying health issues like diabetes or high blood pressure quietly affect blood flow and nerve function. Managing these conditions with your doctor's help can prevent further decline and even help restore some function. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's part of staying strong and in control of your health. Lastly, I want to remind you how mindset matters. It's easy to feel discouraged when things change, but focusing on what you can do rather than what you can't makes all the difference. I've seen men in their 70s and 80s discover a new sense of pride and vitality just by shifting how they view themselves. Confidence can be the greatest boost of all. Remember, the journey to improving penile length and intimate health is not about rushing or comparing yourself to anyone else. It's about honoring your body with kindness, patience, and respect. Every small change you make is a step toward feeling more like yourself again. So, if you're ready to take these ideas and turn them into habits, start today with just one or two. Walk a little more, drink a bit more water, try those pelvic floor exercises, or simply wear something comfortable. Celebrate every small victory, and don't hesitate to reach out to your loved ones or healthcare provider for support. Thank you for spending this time with me. If these stories and tips have helped you feel more hopeful or curious, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep learning and growing together, consider subscribing. There's so much more to explore about health, confidence, and living fully at every age. Here's to your health, your happiness, and a life full of vitality. You deserve it every single day.